she wants men to value what men do not. Because ultimately, what men are looking for is things that's going to get them sexually aroused. Hey, this is the antisocial socialite back at it again. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you are new to the channel or you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for, darling? Hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell. So when I get to running this mouth, baby, you are in the loop. You see the title, you know what time it is. Why the Tomi Laurens of the world are mad at the TH0TS. I'm not going to go over the entire video because the whole men are trash video, there's so much I could say. If anybody would like me to break it down, I can, and just give my 2 cents on it. But I think a lot of people by now have established where Tomi Laurens went wrong. I'm pretty sure she knows when she saw her job offers drying up that even she knows where she went wrong. But there's one aspect of the video that I really want to touch on. And although I wasn't going to do a video on it at all, this bit just keeps coming back to me because this is a common theme. And I think it's the overarching sentiment of the whole rant, really. Why Tomi is so disgruntled and angry. At one point, she was like, you have to value. And she commented on, you know, how her friends can hold conversation and, you know, they can be intelligent and blah, blah, blah. They're educated. But if you want like these little TH0TS, the reason why women like Tomi are so mad at the quote-unquote TH0TS, the illiterate, uneducated, non-Ivy League chicks, is very simple. Feminism has lied to women like Tomi and told them that men and women date and value the same. That what a woman should look for in a man is what men look for in women. And this is not the case. What drives us to find, you know, because I'm dealing obviously mainly with, I'm dealing with men dating women. What causes a woman to find a man attractive is her ability to make her feel secure. The driving force for a woman attracting a man should be looking for security. And the driving force for a man looking for a woman is supposed to be the ability for him to have offspring with that woman, that she's able to bear his children. You know, his seed is going to go on as a legacy through her, and she will be a helpmeet and a supporter. And because women have become more educated, obviously they don't necessarily need a man to be that provider because they have the capacity to provide for themselves. And the reason I'm making this video is because women need to understand that hypergamy can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. When you don't understand how to position your accomplishments and your femininity and which one to prioritize, what you're dating for and what you need to focus on, your hypergamy will actually knock you out of the dating game. For 2 reasons. Feminism is going to indoctrinate you to believe that you can substitute the things men actually want for the things that you think are valuable. It's going to tell you that essentially men and women are the same. Therefore, if you find a man who's educated and has a good job attractive, so should he. And let me just say this, we know that there are varying degrees and there's also varying forms of education. Being educated doesn't necessarily just mean academically and formally. You could be highly educated in the rules of etiquette in terms of dealing with high value men and men of high stature, even if you don't necessarily have an academic degree. Now, does it help? Of course, because some men who come from that background, they like to introduce their partner to their friends, their colleagues, and it is something that's going to be a conversation piece. For example, a lot of people have seen the meme where it's like, you know, Beyonce, how many Grammys? Jay-Z, how many Grammys? Kanye West, how many Grammys? And then it's Kim, a sex tape. It's like, wow. I mean, she's a celebrity, they're celebrities, but when you kind of think about accomplishments, what has Kim Kardashian really done that's made her worthy of celebrity status apart from a sex tape that went viral? You know, which one is harder, stripping off and looking pretty, you know, shaking your bits on a video, or actually putting in years of hard work, training your voice, getting dance lessons, making videos, traveling around the world touring? It's kind of not on the same level. Although it's a stupid meme, it kind of does highlight how people who move in those circles feel when they want to introduce their spouse. This is why I think a lot of these women who are rich, they don't necessarily have a job or a career, but they focus very heavily on things like charity work and community-based projects. So at least they bring something to the table outside of being a wife and a mother. And there's nothing wrong with that. But of course, if you're moving in those circles, it is going to be a topic of conversation in terms of what do you do. So why is Tomi Lahren so mad? She's telling men to value, but the problem is this: she wants men to value what men do not, because ultimately what men are looking for is things that's going to get them sexually aroused. A man who's a protector and a provider, a man who's making his own money, does not need a woman's money. Therefore, he is not sexually aroused by the fact that she's educated, that she can hold a great conversation, or that she has a good job and her own money. It just doesn't work like this. And unfortunately, because hypergamy has been hijacked by the feminist movement, these women now believe that their value is way higher than it actually is. They're trying to get men out of their looks range because they believe that they can substitute or compensate for what they lack in terms of what men actually want for things men do not actually care for. You see, the reason why the so-called Thotiana can actually get a high-value man quicker than maybe even a Tomi Lahren is very simple. When you are uneducated, it's very easy to be hypergamous. When you are at the bottom, when you are an average chick, when you have looks, but you know you're not leading with your degree, you're not leading with your accomplishments or your career, it's very easy to find men who you can see are higher in value than you. It's really that simple. The chick that works at Burger King who looks gorgeous, she's in shape, she's youthful, she's funny, you know, she doesn't necessarily have a lot of education, she doesn't have a big job, she can't attribute her SMV to anything other than her looks. But what a lot of women who are like that don't realize is she has exactly what the men want: youth, fertility, and time. Whereas unfortunately, the women who become more educated, they feel like they're a bigger catch now because they have these degrees behind their name. And ultimately what happens is, as they lead more and more with that masculine energy, they actually repel a lot of the guys who are on their level away, because they perceive themselves to be more attractive and more desirable than they actually are. Here's where hypergamy then really starts to derail them. The more accomplished you are, the more money you have, and the more you are educated, the fewer men there are who you can actually look up to. Because the higher you go, the fewer successful high-value men there are. And I said this in the video that I did yesterday: whoever has the most number of options has the power. If you're a very high-value man, for example, Jay-Z, video on Jay-Z coming. Jay-Z is now a billionaire. As much as people criticize the way Jay-Z looks, he has a lot of options. Internationally, he has women who would gladly go to bed with him if the chance arose. Okay? Future is not that attractive, but the mere fact that he's a celebrity, he has a lot of offers on his plate. So the men who are at the top of their game, who have the high SMV, who have a lot of looks, maybe not even looks, but definitely a lot of money, they have the more options, and therefore they are in the position of power because they have the ability to choose. So the question becomes, if a man has not all the women in the world to choose from, but a good portion of decent women, why would he pick Tomi Lahren over everybody else? This is where a lot of women who have these educations and degrees and qualifications and accomplishments absolutely derail themselves. There's nothing wrong with being educated, there's nothing wrong with being successful or having a career, but once you start leading with that and getting in that masculine energy, your hypergamy is going to trip you up. So why is Tomi Lahren upset with TH0TS? TH0TS is realistic about who she is and what she can attract, but women like Tomi believe they're worth more than they actually can get. That's all I've got. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, share this video with somebody who needs to see it, like the video. Even if you didn't like the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.